In the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, Argentina did not have a single shot on target. Their goalkeeper made 11 saves. And when the whistle finally blew on a 1-0 defeat to Spain, the last image of their tournament wasn't Lionel Messi walking off the pitch. It was Leandro Paredes shoving his way through a pile of bodies at midfield. What happened in the seconds after that final whistle has now become bigger than the result itself. A brawl, shoves and punches thrown near the center circle. An assistant coach caught on camera striking a Spanish player. 2 Argentine red cards on the same night, and one of them was shown after the game was already over. And today, FIFA did something it rarely does. It appointed a prosecutor. Soccer's governing body has opened a formal disciplinary process into what Argentina's players and staff did after losing that final. Depending on what this prosecutor finds, it could end with suspensions that stretch well past the tournament that just ended. This is the reckoning. Here's exactly what happened after that whistle and what FIFA can actually do about it. To understand the fight, you have to understand the 90 minutes that lit the fuse. This was not a classic. Spain and Argentina played out a goalless, grinding final at MetLife Stadium, a match that took nearly 3 hours to complete and refused to break open. Spain had the ball, the territory, and eventually 20 shots. Argentina had a plan: sit deep, stay compact, and let Emiliano Martinez do the rest. For a long time, it worked. Martinez was extraordinary. By the end of the night, he had made 11 saves, shattering the previous record for a World Cup final, which stood at 8. He kept Argentina alive when they had no business being alive, because at the other end, they were offering nothing. When the final whistle eventually came, Argentina had not managed a single shot on target across the entire match. Not one. Messi, in what is expected to be his last ever World Cup appearance, touched the ball just 54 times. The tension had been building all night, and it snapped in the 93rd minute. Enzo Fernandez, already booked for descent, came flying into a challenge on Spain's young defender, Pau Cubarsí, catching him late and sending him cartwheeling through the air. Referee Slavko Vincic had no choice. Second yellow, red card, and Argentina would play the entirety of extra time with 10 men. That was the moment the door swung open for Spain. In the second period of extra time, substitute Ferran Torres struck the only goal of the game, powering the ball past Martinez to win it. It gave Spain their second World Cup title, and eerily, both of them have now been won the exact same way, with a goal in extra time after a goalless 90. For Argentina, it was the worst possible way to lose. The defending champions of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, unable to muster a single shot on target, a man down, watching Spain celebrate on their patch. Everything that came next came from that pressure cooker, and it detonated the instant the whistle blew. Here's what the cameras caught in the moments after Spain won. As the Spanish players began to celebrate near the center circle, Leandro Paredes walked up behind Rodri, the Golden Ball winner and Spain's captain, and shoved him in the back, away from the ball, sending him sprawling to the turf. That was the spark. Players from both teams immediately converged on the spot. A group of Argentine players tried to stand over Rodri as he lay on the ground, and Spanish players moved in to block them off. Among those caught in the scrum were Gavi and Eric Garcia on the Spanish side, both drawn into the confrontation as it spread. Into the middle of all of it ran Paredes, throwing more shoves, catching multiple Spanish players. His second shove of Dani Olmo sent Olmo to the ground, and that was the moment Vinicius decided he'd seen enough, showing Paredes a card after the final whistle had already gone. On a night when Argentina had barely touched the ball, they'd now been reduced twice. But Paredes wasn't the only one. Video from the celebration appeared to show defender Nahuel Molina throwing a punch into the midsection of Rodri as the Spanish captain jogged past with his teammates. And in perhaps the most damaging clip of all, Argentina's assistant coach, Roberto Ayala, a World Cup veteran and one of the most respected defenders his country has ever produced, was caught on camera appearing to strike Spain's Dani Olmo. This wasn't a player losing his head in the heat of the moment. It was a member of the coaching staff. Head coach Lionel Scaloni was seen rushing onto the pitch, trying to separate players, but the damage was already done. There was a backstory to the anger too. According to Spanish outlet DAZN, veteran defender Nicolas Otamendi confronted Rodri directly, furious about comments Rodri had made before the final about the officiating decisions that had gone Argentina's way earlier in the tournament. Words had been exchanged in the build-up, and they came due the second the game ended. Spain's young star, Lamine Yamal, who had been one of the standout players of the entire tournament, was also caught up in the chaos near the touchline. So, this was not one flashpoint. It was a captain shoved off the ball, punches from a defender, a coach striking an opponent, and a confrontation rooted in something said days earlier. All of it filmed from a dozen angles in front of a global audience of hundreds of millions. And FIFA was watching too. Within hours, FIFA responded, and it did something that tells you how seriously it is taking this. In an official statement, soccer's governing body said that after assessing the match reports from the final, its disciplinary committee had appointed a disciplinary and ethics prosecutor to investigate potential breaches of the FIFA disciplinary code relating to the post-match incidents. That language sounds dry, so let me translate what it actually means. FIFA's disciplinary committee automatically reviews every red card. That is routine. What is not routine is appointing a dedicated prosecutor. That is a specific official with the power to request that formal disciplinary proceedings be opened and to propose actual punishments, not just for players, but for coaching staff and for the National Federation itself. Under Article 36 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code, that prosecutor can bring charges covering everything from violent conduct to bringing the game into disrepute. In other words, FIFA has not just filed a report and moved on. It has assigned someone whose entire job is to build a case. Here's the part that makes this so remarkable. For the last month, the story around Argentina wasn't that FIFA was against them. It was the opposite. Fans, pundits, and plenty of people in that stadium had spent the entire tournament accusing FIFA of protecting Argentina, of letting the officiating tilt their way, match after match, all the way to the final. The nickname followed them everywhere. Now, the same governing body that was accused of shielding them has turned around and pointed a prosecutor directly at them. It also doesn't happen in a vacuum. Just days before the final, FIFA had already opened separate disciplinary proceedings against Argentina over a banner some of their players displayed after the semi-final win against England, a banner referencing Argentina's claim to the Malvinas, the islands Britain administers and calls the Falklands. In the span of a single week, Argentina went from one FIFA disciplinary case to two, one political, one violent, both hanging over a squad that just lost the biggest game on earth. The question now isn't whether FIFA acts, it's how far it goes. So what can FIFA actually do here? To answer that, look at what it's done before. Under its disciplinary code, FIFA has real power. It can suspend players, it can suspend team officials, and it can fine national federations for conduct that brings the game into disrepute. These aren't theoretical tools, and the history shows FIFA is willing to use them hard when it decides to make an example of someone. Think back to 2014, when Uruguay's Luis Suarez bit Italy's Giorgio Chiellini during a World Cup match. FIFA banned him from all soccer-related activity for 4 months, not 4 games, 4 months, which wiped out the rest of his tournament and the start of his club season. Or take 2023, when the former president of the Spanish Football Federation, Luis Rubiales, was banned from all football activity for 3 years. FIFA has shown more than once that it'll reach for the heaviest sanctions available when the moment calls for it. And any party that disagrees with those sanctions has the right to appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Lausanne, though CAS has historically upheld FIFA's major disciplinary rulings. Now, apply that to what happened on Sunday. The prosecutor will be looking at several individuals, Leandro Paredes, already sent off for his role at the center of the scuffle, Nahuel Molina for the apparent punch, and most seriously of all, assistant coach Roberto Ayala, because when a member of the coaching staff is caught on camera striking an opposing player, that's exactly the kind of conduct FIFA's most serious provisions were written for. A player losing his head is one thing. A coach doing it is a different category of problem. Realistically, the range of outcomes is wide. At the lighter end, this could mean fines for the Argentine Federation and match suspensions that bleed into next year's fixtures. At the heavier end, if the prosecutor decides the assistant coach's actions crossed into violent conduct, we could be talking about a lengthy ban for a senior member of Argentina's staff. And all of this lands while that separate Malvinas banner case is still open. For a squad already facing an uncertain future, with an aging core and questions about who even returns for the next cycle, the timing could not be worse. For 4 years, Argentina were the champions of the world. They arrived at this tournament as the team to beat, with the greatest player of his generation chasing one last perfect ending. And this is how it closed, not with Messi lifting a trophy, but with a defender shoving the winning captain to the ground, a coach throwing a strike on camera, and a prosecutor being appointed before the players had even left the field. That's the image that survives. Not the 11 saves, not the 3 hours of resistance, but the 30 seconds of chaos after the whistle that FIFA is now building a case around. The final score said Spain 1, Argentina nothing. But the story that outlives this final won't be about the goal Ferran Torres scored. It'll be about what a defending champion did when the whistle confirmed the title was gone, and what soccer's governing body decides to do about it in the weeks ahead. Because a red card can be served in a single match. A FIFA investigation can follow you for a lot longer than that. The reckoning has only just started, and we'll be covering every step of it. If you want to follow it with us, you know what to do.